Welcome to Beerstories from Beerstory Brewhouse. This video is about your beer's enemies. Your beer has 4 enemies. The first of them is oxygen, and you can't let any oxygen near your beer after pitching your yeast. Not in packaging, not anywhere. If you bottle carbonate your beer with some priming sugar, it will take up most of the oxygen, but it takes a couple of days and you will oxidize your beer at that point already. You can get some newer caps that will actually scavenge oxygen, but you have to know that that all caps, they are not oxygen free. Oxygen will and can get in. So yeah, oxygen is a really big enemy of beer. Cans, they are oxygen free or airtight, so they won't get any air in. But bottles, you will always get air in, unless you put them in some kind of wax to seal off the cap or the top fully. Then you'll be fine. But either way, be aware that oxygen will get in your beer, almost no matter what. Number 2 is heat. Many people store their beer in the garage or something like that, and in the summertime it can get pretty hot in there, so that will ruin your beer. All chemical reactions will happen way faster, so oxidation and so on. But you'll also get this kind of potato flour, earthy, muddy, oxidized flavor, dusty flavor. It will get stale very, very fast if it's stored too hot. So yeah, a fridge is the best way to store your beer, of course. The next thing is light. Brown bottles are not that dangerous to use. Green bottles and clear bottles, they let the bad light in, the UV light in, and will actually ruin your beer very, very fast. In the end, I'll put a video up here where I tested it on a Corona, and it will get skunky really fast. And skunky, I don't mean like cannabis. It will be like the skunk, the animal. It will taste like morning urine really, really fast. Yeah, so and that's why cans, again, they are great. No oxygen, no light, easier to store, actually better for the environment because the aluminum is easier to reuse. Bottles are not that easy to reuse actually. Yeah, and they're easier to ship, and yeah, so that's why many breweries use cans nowadays. So the last one, number 4, is time. You can't really do anything about time, but just be aware that a really hoppy beer will peak after 6 weeks, and then the hoppy flavors will actually start to decrease, even though you stored it cold and brewed it perfectly. So I'll say that a good IPA is, after 3 months, you're not getting your full value for your money if you buy a 3 months old IPA. So yeah, time is really, really important. Lagers, they can keep fresh for longer if you store it cold, up to about a year. If it's a strong lager, like a double bock, it will last over a year. Really strong beer, Belgian quarts, imperial stouts, Baltic porters like that, barley wines, they can store for longer, but make sure you keep them cold. That will really, really improve their shelf life. Yeah, and won't make them stale. So I guess that was it. Enemy of the beer: oxygen, heat, light, and time. If you have any questions, write to me down in the comments or through Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, or just have a happy brewing out there.